Can we please talk about how hard it is to learn to let yourself be loved correctly after a toxic relationship, or many toxic relationships, or just toxic years? Because I look at my girlfriend 20 times a day and I'm like, why? Why are you okay? Like, aren't I a monster? Am I not just crazy? Am I not just too much and too little all at the same time? Am I not just the worst person ever? She goes, you're so easy to be around. What do I do with that? What am I supposed to do with that? Because I can't yell now. We're not arguing. We're just enjoying each other's company. And it makes me uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. This is uncharted territory. I go to my therapist and I'm like, is this normal? She's like, you're just in a healthy relationship. I said, I need a manual. I don't know.
Guys, don't you think it's funny how a lot of these modern women will sit there and tell you like, oh, I've been through 50 toxic relationships, right? All of my relationships in the past, they've all been terrible and unhealthy. And, you know, the guys treated me poorly. They treated me terribly. And I just don't understand why. Guys, these women are attracted to the toxicity. Okay, a lot of these modern women, guys, they'll try and sell you this sob story about how they're mistreated and about how people just don't give them what they deserve, guys. When, like, if you listen to what she said there, she's not even used to anything healthy, right? They're not used to healthy relationships. This is one of the reasons, guys, where dudes come along and they think that complimenting women is a good idea. A lot of these girls will just black that out, man. They won't even hear it. Right, you can compliment these girls, but it straight up is just like a void, guys. Like, nothing positive gets through to them. They only respond to things that are negative. Okay, and that's a really sad thing to say, guys, but, you know, let me just pull up and show you some of these comments real quick. So, you know, so I'm not just kind of lying through my teeth here, guys. Check this out, right? These are the comments of the video right here. Take a look at this. This person right here says, this is how I feel too. I don't know how to accept love and affection. Bestie, I literally just ruined things with a guy after 1 week because of trauma from being strung along for 6 months by the previous guy. Gentlemen, I'm telling you, they're attracted to the toxic behavior, and then they want to turn around at the end when they get to 35 and be like, you know what? All these bad boys, right, treated me this way, but now I'm ready for a real guy. I mean, check these out, guys. We'll read a couple more and have a look, right? You're expecting them to do something toxic or messed up, blah, blah, blah. Feeling safe can be uncomfortable when you're not used to it. Guys, these women literally go out of their way to deliberately date men who treat them poorly, and then they get surprised when dudes treat them poorly. Right? It's like, oh, I dated Chad. I dated the guy that had all the women who didn't want to give me a relationship. And then, you know, lo and behold, he strung me along for 6 months and I can't find a guy. And it was a really terrible experience for me. Yeah, you could have chose a guy who wouldn't put you through all that, but you wanted that one guy who is not going to have a relationship with you. But what is going on, gentlemen? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, I just wanted to show you one of the things that we bring up quite frequently on the channel. Now, I'm going to pull up this woman's Instagram right here. This is who we're talking about today. And as you can see, guys, you know, just the classic Instagram, right? She's got like almost 100,000 followers here. Okay, and this is kind of what 2021 looks like, right? Where you got all these girls, man, where like they've got all these people. Guys, this woman, right, has literally 90,000 followers, right? And in her own words, has gone through all of these quote unquote toxic relationships. And, you know, these girls can't find the one. It's not through lack of people, guys. It's their decision making that really ruins their chances. And truth be told, guys, a lot of these women can't keep around a man even if they tried. But I want to show you a couple more videos before we really jump into
pay attention.
The rest of today. So check this out, guys. We've got a couple of TikToks to show you before we continue with today's episode.
Pay attention. This is super important. If you get into a truck with a guy and he drives like this, he knows he's number one and you'll always be second. Now, if he drives with the sight grip and bend, that's okay. But this, if the finger's hanging, you better be rethinking. Pay attention.
Now, guys, basically what happens here, right, is if you take the two videos that we just watched, right, the first one where the girl's saying, you know what, I went through so many toxic relationships, right, and you got girls in the comments saying they've been strung along for 6 months, and then you watch videos like this, right, where this girl will sit here and, you know, hyper analyze how guys put their hands on the steering wheel. One thing you've got to understand about a lot of these girls, man, is they'll sit here and they'll go, you know what? I need a guy who fulfills this requirement and that requirement. And if he holds the steering wheel in this way, it's bad. But if he holds it in this way, it's good. If his star sign is this, it's good. If his star sign is this, it's bad. It's all BS, guys. All of it. If a girl is attracted to you, none of this crap even matters. You know what I mean? It's like all these girls will make up like arbitrary rules. But if she finds the dude physically attractive, right? It's like it's basically a done deal. Okay, a lot of these girls will be like, oh yeah, I need a man who does this. He's got to do all these things for me. Plus, he's got to hold the steering wheel correctly, for goodness sake. But then you look at her dating history, right? And it's like, where was the steering wheel check for that guy, right? You see what I'm saying, gentlemen? Where like a lot of these girls, they'll put crap on TikTok. And again, I got to show you some of these comments, man, because these are pretty funny. Check this one out right here. This is by a dude named DD, I guess. This guy says, did anyone else hear her voice and instantly stop the video before your ears started hurting? And then she says, get out. I love it when people will like write crap like this, right? And then the creator responds to it and gets significantly less likes. You know what I mean? She's beefing with the truck guys. Why is her voice so fine? Oh no, here come the simps. You heard it first here, folks. You can tell a guy's entire personality by the way he holds the steering wheel. This is the kind of crap as well why a lot of guys are just done with dating. You know what I mean? It's like girls will literally just make stuff up like this. And look, there is an element of truth to this where like girls, you already know, guys, for those of the dudes who are out there dating, right? We got a mixture of dudes, but for those of the dudes who are out there dating, oh, a girl can like you plenty one day, right? But then the next day she'll be like, you know, not so interested because of some arbitrary, stupid reason, right? You know what? Oh, I'll go with this guy instead because, you know, he's got a different car, or he's got a different job, or, you know, he's a bit better of a height. All this kind of crap, guys, is just absolutely ridiculous, right? Let alone this whole steering wheel thing that this woman's going on about. But let's continue on to the next one and see what we've got here.
Something that really annoys me is society's obsession with humbling women. Like, the second you dare to like yourself a little bit, it's you're really not all that, or wow, you're so self-obsessed. Like, who am I supposed to be obsessed with? You?
You know, it's funny, right? Society actually doesn't really have an obsession with humbling women. In fact, it is, you know, unacceptable in broader society to quote unquote humble women, right? It's like, if you want to talk about this sort of stuff about humbling girls and saying, you know what, maybe you should have realistic expectations. Guys, go out into the real world, right? Get off YouTube, right? And go out there and try and explain to a girl how her dating expectations are unrealistic and that she's living in a clown world if she hasn't found a guy by the time she's 25. That kind of stuff, like if you say that, it's not acceptable in broader society. It really isn't. So crap like this, right, where they're like, oh yeah, it's not you know, it's society wants to humble women. No, society wants women out there being strong and empowered, right? Just, you know, just keep going out there, living your single life, living your best life. And, you know, hey, don't worry about any of that biological clock or anything like that. That's just made up baloney science. You don't got to worry about that.
Something that really annoys me is society's obsession with humbling women.
Again, guys, like you tell me in the comments, what obsession, right? It's literally unacceptable in society to quote unquote humble women at the moment. Like, this is not something that's generally talked about. Like, if you talk about humbling girls, like you'll get looks from dudes, you'll get looks from girls. Like nobody really wants to hear that crap, right? Everyone wants to push this narrative of strong, independent women, and they have it so difficult, and they get paid less. Which, by the way, they don't. Okay, we've been over that many times, but anything to kind of support the narrative, right?
Like, the second you dare to like yourself a little bit, it's you're really not all that, or
and let's look at this, okay? I'm actually going to pull this down so you guys... Let me just move the screen down. So if you didn't catch what she said there, she said, the second you dare to like yourself a little bit. Guys, let's be honest with ourselves here. What does liking yourself a little bit look like for modern women? It looks like entitlement. It's not just a matter of, oh yeah, I like myself a little bit and then that's that. No. See, this is like... that next level of entitlement, right? Where I deserve a guy who's 6 foot and 6 figures. Meanwhile, she's 5'3" and she's barely scraping 5 figures because she spends every weekend going out partying. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, these girls don't like themselves a little bit. They walk around with the attitude that they're deserving of a guy no matter what. And again, I'm going to pull up the comments to show you guys some of this stuff. So let's take a look at what some of these people have to say. And you already know, guys, we got the hashtags. Man, reading this out loud is just, it makes me feel like we're living in some sort of simulation right now. Look at this, right? Hashtag self-love journey, hashtag women's rights, hashtag women supporting women, and up there the caption is also stay confident babes with, I guess, is like a clapping emoji, right? But check this out. They hate that women are becoming more confident and independent and cannot be controlled anymore, simple as that. But it's a different thing to feel yourself time to time and actually be obsessed. I'll think extremely many girls on TikTok are way too much. Yeah, that's 100% facts right there. I'm surprised this comment is even here, right? Where a lot of these girls think that, oh, I like myself a little bit. No, you're walking around with the ego the size of another planet, right? This is 100% true. Glad my confidence is living rent-free in your mind. Yes, jealous and the desire to control pops out of the shadows. You are so pretty. A guy once told me he told his friend that he liked that I was pretty and didn't know it, blah, 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 but then he criticized me for having low self-esteem later. I always clap back with I'm the main character. If no one is obsessed with you, then who will? That's your job. Guys, like, I think I'm, going to pass out reading some of these things, but let's address this, right? They hate that women are becoming more confident and independent and cannot be controlled anymore. Simple as that. A lot of guys, a lot of people in general don't care if you go out there and become a career woman and you do all that, right? Nobody really cares. Like, if you want to go out there, you want to be a boss babe, you want to have your career, that's never really been an argument. Like, go out there and you do that, but just understand that comes with consequences. Right? One of those consequences is when you rock around to 40, you're going to have some difficulty having kids, right? That's the first one. And the second thing as well is, like, people aren't scared of you. People aren't worried about controlling you. They just don't want to deal with you, right? And I don't say that to be an a-hole, right? It's just like people don't want to deal with you because when you sit there and you say, you know what, I like myself, how that really translates in the real world is I walk around with a level of entitlement that's through the damn roof. Now, if you don't actually do that, then that's cool, right? But a lot of these girls, a lot of these modern women, they say that they like themselves and it's about self-love, and they're literally the most narcissistic people on the planet, right? Like, all I have to do is pull up some Instagram, guys. Like, I'm just going to pull this up one more time and just kind of show you where we're at in society right now. So let me just press the right screen here. I mean, guys, like, you want to talk, what do you guys think? Is this self-love, right? Or is this just narcissism? Like, you guys let me know in the comments, right? Let's actually have a count right here. So each row is 3, right? And let's see if we can find the first one where it's not just a photo of herself, okay? So we got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42, 45. All of them were her so far, guys. Like, there was not what, you know what I mean? Right? This is 2021, basically in a nutshell. But guys, we're going to be moving on to the next part of the show, and this might be a little bit shorter of an episode, guys, but I really wanted to show you guys this article right here. Now, full disclosure, guys, I feel totally disgusting because I had to subscribe to get access to this. So you guys better subscribe to the channel for this one. Goodness me. Let's take a look at this. I literally had to subscribe to their magazine. When you go to websites, guys, and it's like you can't read the full article, so you have to join their mail list or whatever. Now these people are going to email me, so rest in peace. All right, this right here is titled, "That Time My Date Ruined His Chances by Complimenting Me. No, he wasn't negging me, but his praise still revealed some troubling things about his character." Now, this is I don't understand why they put like a 6-minute read. Like anyone is this busy. This is just for people who want to feel like they're busy, but they're not actually busy. You get me? But anyway, this is written by a woman named Laura Roselle. And again, guys, just going off the title right here, "That time my date ruined his chances by complimenting me." I'm telling you, a lot of guys think that, going out here and complimenting these women is what's going to get them somewhere. Guys, complimenting women in 2021, it's literally like white noise to them. Like, we play those TikToks, and I think in all of those TikToks I showed you guys, there were compliments just floating around in the comments telling the girls that they were beautiful and whatever the case may be. So, compliments in 2021 are literally white noise to women. So it is what it is. But let's continue on. "Once upon a time, I was out on a second or third date with a guy we'll call Leo. I liked his personality. Right, we had some common interests. He seemed courteous, witty, attentive, and cute. Even though a few things had come up in early conversation that made me unsure about our compatibility, such as his total lack of interest in travel, I was still in the mindset of giving things with Leo a chance. This is when a group of sorority women in what could be best be described as a certain kind of costumes, stylized to show lots of skin, walked into the little pizza place where we were grabbing a bite at the end of the night, and Leo had something to say about them. It basically went like this: look at those girls dressing like that. It's such a turnoff when women dress all revealing. Uh-oh. And then this is like her thinking to herself, right? Dude, chill, I thought. These ladies are clearly on their way to or from a party. They're not hurting anybody. Why would you trash them for wearing costumes? More importantly, even if they dress like this every damn day of their lives, would that really be a problem? I didn't have a chance to figure out how to articulate this though, because Leo continued. I mean, look at you. Look at how you're dressed. You don't have to show all that to be attractive. You're ... And he flashed a syrupy smile as he found the word he was looking for. Classy. Oh, she says. The guy's grin made it clear that he meant this as a consummate compliment. It was not. In jeans, a t-shirt, and a light blazer against the chill of early spring, I was definitely more clothed than the bevy of goddesses that had just walked in. But I hadn't dressed this way to virtue signal to him or anybody else. So I was shocked that he'd placed me on a pedestal for it, and especially that he'd weaponized it against other women. Guys, just notice the framing of this just right off the bat, okay? Is like, this is one of the reasons, like, a lot of dudes will tell you, right? If you're a dude who's out there dating, girls will literally just take offense to anything, especially if it's got to do with anything regarding appearance, right? Because if you say anything about another girl's appearance, she's going to come in and go, oh, he's that type of guy. Oh, and she's just going to make 50 assumptions, which may or may not be correct. But like, just looking at this stuff, right, is like, it's really interesting to see, okay, where girls will be like, oh, I want you to tell me what you're attracted to and what you're not, and what guys are into and what they're not. But if guys tell the truth and they're like, you know what, for example, I won't make a girlfriend out of a girl that hits the town every weekend. Girls wanted that honesty. They want to know that, but then they get really frustrated when dudes actually tell them, right? It's like, I don't want a girlfriend or a wife who works in the entertainment industry, shall we say. And then they're all like, oh, I'm so offended. You know what? Like, men can't have preferences. Men can't have standards. This is such an issue. Okay, and again, this guy just called this woman classy and she's losing her mind over it, which is just outright insane. Not to mention how icky it felt to receive a compliment that was built on his efforts to tear a bunch of other women down. Guys, I don't even understand how this is tearing other women down, right? It's like, you know, they're not hurting anybody, blah, blah, blah. Look at those girls dressing like that. It's such a turnoff when women dress all revealing. Like, that's a preference, is it not? It's not as if he's tearing them down and walking over and going, you know what, ladies, you look terrible, right? He's simply saying that it's a preference that he has and it's a turnoff for him. Okay, but again, reading this right here, not to mention how icky it felt to receive a compliment that was built on his efforts to tear a bunch of other women down, right? Feeling caught off guard, I gave Leo a delayed, uncomfortable half smile. I didn't feel like funneling energy into a corrective about how shallow it is to judge a woman's character based on her clothes. So I didn't. Guys, let's just talk about this for a second, okay? If you're a guy and you're walking through your city, for example, wherever that may be in the world, okay? And you're walking through your city. Let's run scenario number one, okay? Scenario number one is you're wearing baggy clothes that don't really fit. You're wearing things that don't complement your form at all, you know, make you look pretty ridiculous and disproportionate. You're wearing ridiculous shoes. People are going to make a judgment about you. Okay, whatever it is that you wear, I don't even care if you're wearing that outfit or not, right? It's just whatever you happen to be wearing, people are going to form a judgment about it. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, guys. Like, people are going to judge. It's human nature, okay? But let's square that up with this sentence that's right here, all right? How shallow it is to judge a woman's character based on her clothes. Now let's continue what I was explaining right there. So we've got scenario one where you're walking through your city wearing baggy clothes that don't fit, that don't look the best on you, right? And maybe you've got some wacky shoes. Now let's flip the script there and say that you're wearing a form-fitting suit, like, right? Like, your body's looking a bit nice, but you've dressed to your body type. You're looking a lot better. Women are going to perceive you very, very differently. Okay, it's like men aren't allowed to judge women based on what they wear, but you guys think that girls are not judging you based on what you wear, right? Like you think that these girls are out here just not judging anybody, not giving a no, guys. They 100% make judgments about what you wear, how you carry yourself, how you smell, how you look, right? You know, whether that be muscles, height, facial hair, all that kind of crap. Like, is your facial hair not clean? Is it clean? Okay. Are you there with your friends? Are you not there with your friends? Are your friends male? Are they female? Are they attractive? Are they ugly? Do they seem intelligent? Like all of these things come in, and we just want to go, you know what, guys? It's bad to judge, right? If you're out there looking for a life, like if you're out there looking for a wife, for the sake of argument, by the way, guys, don't go out there looking for a wife, okay? Marriage in 2021 is an absolute joke for men to take on. But let's just say you were, for sake of argument, right? You're going out there, you're looking for a wife. Guys, would you not judge what the girl is wearing? Of course you would. Of course you would, okay? So this whole thing of like trying to shame people and trying to say it's shallow to judge people based on what they wear is ridiculous. You're going to get judged no matter what, guys. Like, it's just part of real life. But I definitely didn't feel like thanking him for his praise either. I have this guy's approval and admiration, but only if I dress conservatively. No thanks. He didn't seem to realize that by insulting a cadre, I don't know how to say that, man, of innocent bystanders, he wasn't actually expressing that he didn't approve of me and how I sometimes dressed. Didn't seem to know or consider that I also wore revealing or form-fitting clothes on occasion. I'd even been a Hooters girl a few years earlier and posed in a bikini for a calendar. Oh, and one Halloween I dressed as an attractive Roman goddess myself. Glancing over at those ladies, I wish I had a toga party to go to. I would have loved an excuse to dress like that again. It certainly would have been a hell of a lot more fun than this date. Yeah, and this is the funny thing, right? Is because a lot of these girls, what they'll come to do is they'll go, you know what, now's my time to settle down in life. I'm going to try and get that guy. But the guy who's going to settle down with them after they've gone and done all these wild things is a guy who has no self-respect. Right? It's like, who wants to wife up or have a long-term relationship with a girl where any guy can buy a calendar and see your wife, right? Like, dudes can just go out there and they can see what your wife looks like because she dressed up and literally posed for calendars, guys. It's like, you know, guys will have fun with you, right? Guys will have short-term relationships and whatever the case may be. But if a guy is going to approach you in any way that's serious at all, he doesn't want to know that the whole town knows what you look like, you know, in your Roman outfit, shall we say. But let's continue on. I can already hear the angry eye cells grumbling. And guys, we got to pause on this word right here. I always find it so funny that girls will throw around this word. It's like they don't even, first of all, it's like they don't even know what it means, right? This is like the equivalent of me just walking around, throwing around the, you know, the SL word or the WH word, just willy-nilly, right? It's like, yeah, you can throw words around this, but you don't know the people. Just because people disagree with what you say, that doesn't necessarily mean that they haven't had bedroom intercourse before. Right? It's so funny to see girls throw this out because it basically just means that they're losing the argument. That is all that it means. That I'm being too harsh or that I'm just another woman too uptight to give a guy a chance. All right, perhaps Leo simply wanted to express that he liked how I looked and that I didn't have to try hard to impress him. And fine, perhaps he was even attempting to reassure me that in a sea of bare limbs, plunging necklines, and peekaboo midriffs, his attention was purely on me. I considered all of this even then. Oh, thank you, Your Highness. You see, guys, this is one of the reasons. Just don't go out here throwing all these compliments around, okay? Just please don't. You'll save yourself so much time, man. Girls don't even like it, right? What they'll do, right, is like if you throw all these compliments at a girl, they will rationalize a reason not to like you after the fact or not to continue in any romantic sense after the fact. Like they won't know why, but if you throw all these compliments and you treat them well, they'll just lose interest, guys. Like, and they'll straight up just put you into a category of a guy who's not actually attractive, right? Because you're putting her on a pedestal. But everything about how he'd expressed this was deeply problematic. I was a lit major, more or less. Yeah, couldn't have guessed that one. I knew how to read between the lines. What he'd really just expressed was that women are only classy if they take care not to shine too brightly. Is that what we're calling it, right? It's like if you're wearing clothes to go out to town, if you're wearing revealing clothes, we're calling that shining brightly. What an interesting reframe right there. And that he took issue with the ones who revel in flaunting their figures. That kind of issue was a huge red flag. My previous relationship was look at that, guys. I haven't even, look at this, right? How does this tie into the first TikTok, by the way? That's hilarious. And one of the many ways my ex's A word manifested was in his habit of criticizing me for what I wore, whether low-cut sweaters in public or I crap you not lingerie in the privacy of our own home. The last thing I needed was a new guy who'd police my self-expression or act repulsed at the prospect of me feeling confident about showing my body. In fact, Leo's moralizing was all the more alarming for the fact that these women were clearly dressed for a special occasion, not a trip to the grocery store. It was as if he needed so badly to inform me of his views on acceptable versus unacceptable manners of feminine dress that he seized the first chance he saw, no matter how irrelevant to my daily life. Worst of all, by saying all these things, speaking volume in a tiny space while shooting sour glances at his targets, Leo made it clear that he didn't even deem women who didn't dress conservatively worthy of his full respect. What kind of guy criticizes complete strangers who have done nothing wrong within earshot? A guy who feels entitled in his disdain and doesn't care about making other people feel like crap. He definitely turned me all the way off. There were no more dates with Leo after that. And you know what, guys? A round of applause for this woman, this strong, independent woman, for clearly, it's good to see, guys, because these are the girls who will wind up single. Right, they will absolutely wind up single later on because, like, here's the thing: they're going to get into relationships later, and their husband, their long-term boyfriend, is going to go, you know what? I don't want you doing this, or I don't want you doing that. And she's going to go, who are you to control me? Like, you can already see the places that this kind of stuff goes. And here's the thing, right? If you want to go out there and you want to do all these things, it's like most guys won't have an issue. Right? If you want to go out there, you want to have fun, you want to dress however the hell you want, right? You want to get on TikTok, you want to make, videos yelling about this or that. It's like, dudes don't really care. People don't really care. But here's the thing. You want to turn around and you want to look for a man to keep around. You want to look for a long-term relationship. That's when you're going to start having the issues because a lot of guys, will not throw their self-respect under the bus to deal with you. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's video there. So as always, gentlemen, make sure you leave your thoughts and your comments. Today's video was a little bit over the place. Points perhaps a little bit unclear, gentlemen, but I'm going to be heading to bed. Just had a back and biceps day, so I'm about ready for bed. As always, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you boys in the next episode. Peace.